does an investigator do? You know, you see some massive A-lister who's in a gated community. You can't, even the best of us can't get through to them. What happens? What's the actual protocol to kind of, you know, metaphorically knock on that mansion door and let them know what's going on?
Right, so a celebrity's whereabouts and contact information is not actually that difficult for a federal agent to access. And so they have to make their best efforts to make direct contact with the individual, because at the end of the day, this is these are sensitive allegations. They involve sexual assault. They're just like any other Jane Doe. There's a reason why we call them Jane Doe and John Doe in indictments. And so they would want to make direct contact first with that individual to see if it's one thing they believe that the law enforcement believes that they're victims, but do they believe that they've been victimized? Are they willing to cooperate in this investigation and prosecution? And if they can't get to the celebrity directly, then I think the next best approach, and this is pretty much protocol, is to contact an attorney, an entertainment lawyer, somebody that has attorney-client privilege with the celebrity, as opposed to a manager or an agent where there's, you know, no privileged communications.
Yeah.
But again, I think, you know, it depends on whether they're going to cooperate. And I think in this scenario, there are a lot of people, famous people, that just whether they're victim or suspect want to have nothing to do with Diddy Doomsday. You know,
I can imagine that. You know, can I also ask you? We're in such a different digital age now, where there's just so much on iPhones. There's so much video evidence in courtrooms now. In a circumstance like this, and again, they might have to go through many layers of, you know, handlers before they could actually get to a celebrity. Because, again, even a federal agent isn't just going to knock on some massive A-lister's door, right? But would they bring the video? Would they actually bring it in a handheld device to say, I have terrible news for you, and before you tell me you don't believe it, is this you? Like, would they actually show it at that point? This is such incredibly sensitive material.
You know, Ashleigh, they never come in with the golden nugget initially. I think, especially when you're dealing with a high-profile individual, the question's going to be, you know, do you believe you were victimized? Would you want to cooperate in this investigation? This is what we would expect from you if you do. And then down the road, of course, you know, they would share information that they have. If they're getting pushback, if they believe the person's denying it and are unwilling.
Well, if the celebrity has no idea, right? We're talking about unconscious people. Our you know, grand jury witness told us that they were completely unconscious. So if they have no idea, doesn't it behoove the detective to enlighten them as to what is on the video? And by God, it's you, ma'am. You know what I mean?
Ashleigh, I know, but Ashleigh, I have a problem with that premise. You know, I know a lot of people that would get invited to Diddy parties, and they knew what goes on at Diddy parties, whether they were called freak-offs or not. I live in LA, you know, and so I think that when you're dealing with adults, you know, I don't want to say you consent by going to a party to everything that happens at that party, but this is a kind of party where you kind of do, you know, and I think that it's expected that you go to a Diddy party, there's going to be drugs, there's going to be poppers, there's going to be sex, there's going to be crazy sex. So, you know, they might be unconscious in the moment to consent to a particular sexual act, but I don't believe for a minute that they didn't know.
You're the lawyer, but I disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm not a lawyer, so this is a joke. But I don't believe that, because lots of people go to frat parties where the drinking is wild and crazy. And if someone puts something into a girl's drink and she is molested and raped on video, it doesn't matter what the intention was. It doesn't matter what kind of party she knew she was going to. You can't put your key into a car like that. You know what I mean? And so that's the only reason I'm saying I feel like some of these celebrities might have no idea it was them and this happened.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some in that category, but I'm sure there's many in the category of let's have a good time, let's party, let's do these drugs, let's drink this alcohol and get crazy. You know, there's also that, because he definitely had a brand for this, you know?
Yeah. And it's hard, you know, you're right. It's really hard on tape to know what was consensual, but it isn't hard on tape to know if somebody is unconscious. That's the one thing. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.